Before we jump in, we'll have full coverage previews. It's a bullpen game for the Dodgers, Luis Gil for the Yankees, but we welcome in Walker Buehler, who was magnificent last night. Walker, congratulations to you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
So 5 shutout innings last night, and you look like Walker Buehler used to look. How did that happen for you after a rough regular season?
Yeah, it was a tough year, man. It really was, but there was one bullpen in St. Louis that kind of changed it all. Jack Flaherty was out there, and obviously our pitching guys, and from there kind of got a little bit better each outing, and I like pitching in these games.
How much specific game planning do you do, like for this team? It seems like you really have a knowledge of what you want. How much game planning? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm a little different in the way that I do it. I'm a little bit more matchup based in terms of what I'm trying to do to certain guys, and a lot of guys pitch straight to their strengths, and I'm not one of those. I kind of mix and match and see what I got going that day, so it kind of comes out different every time.
It seemed like you went right after their strengths, though. I'm assuming you got to be a great poker player, because when you're digging into the scouting report, they say, all right, man, the Yankees hit 4-seam fastballs. Walker Buehler last time against the Mets, he went to the sinker and the sweeper, so he's not even throwing the 4-seam fastball. And then today, or yesterday, you end up going out there and just firing right at him. Is it almost playing poker against the other team at that point?
Yeah, I think at some point for me, if I can throw the one down or down and away to righties, that's kind of always been my bread and butter. And this, honestly, yesterday was probably the first time all year I've had that throw. And for me, if I have that one going, I'm going to keep going to it.
Walker, I faced you when you were a younger guy. It felt like you pitched with aggression, with emotions. I played with emotions as well. I remember kind of like one of my times where I knew I was kind of done with one team. I knew, okay, this is a very emotional start or a very emotional place to be. Last night, for me, it's not so much what you did here, but the emotions that took place at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Perhaps maybe, if you do come back here, you come back here. But if you don't, this might have been the last time you were a Dodger blue.
Yeah, I don't, we'll see on that. It's not really all up to me. There's something special about playing in this kind of stage, but with our guys and our team. We've talked a lot about how close this team is, and it is emotional, man. Yeah. Whether you win, lose, or draw, like us going out and playing together is emotional for all of us. And I think the on-the-field stuff you kind of got to earn. It's got to be a big moment, and you get those every once in a while. They feel pretty good.
Yeah, when you're talking about the team, there's so many special moments that you saw that happen yesterday. You see Mookie making the diving play for you. Teoscar Hernandez. Anytime a new player comes and onboarded with the Dodgers, it seems like they're immediately brought in as family. How much does that change how you plan on what you're going to do on the mound when you get a lead early, and then you have your guys behind you making plays?
Yeah, there's nothing more comforting than going out for the first inning with a lead, especially on the road in a place like this. And having a clean first inning after that, I think the momentum really changes, and then you can see here, obviously, Teo, that's about as big a momentum play as you'll see in any game, and especially in the playoffs. And I was screaming bad. No, they're huge plays, man, and we've got great players that make big plays, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
You're up 3-zip, has to feel good. How do you temper that the job's not done, but you're in such a commanding position?
Yeah, I mean, our whole team, I think, in general, has been doing a really good job all playoffs of playing one at a time and kind of all the cliche stuff that we talk about. But for me, I've got Game 7 if we get there. So there's something that I kind of got to keep getting ready for. I can't quite go sit and have a beer every game and whatever. So try and get ready for Game 7 if we need it.
You're from Lexington, Kentucky. You went to Vanderbilt. The weather sometimes can be pretty nasty.
Yep.
But what is it with you, man? It feels like anytime it's just a little crisp in the air, you got that and that nasty cutter. Yep. What is it, man? You just like it?
I don't know. I think I got used to it in college, man. I swear. One year I had 10 straight starts under 40 degrees in college. And
I went to Miami. I don't know about that.
Right, exactly. You know how college is. If you're not good, you're out of there. So I had to figure out how to be good in the cold.
Has to be quite a ride, though, after being tested by the Padres where you were.
Yep.
Just how did that happen? It didn't look like you'd be here, let alone up 3-zip. What was it like when you were down and facing elimination?
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's kind of cool. That 2-1 game, we threw the bullpen game and kind of changed the momentum, and hopefully we close it out tonight with a bullpen game again. I think it'd be a little poetic for us and our team. Obviously, we have one of the best bullpens in baseball, and they've certainly stepped up. So we're hoping they can do it for us tonight.
Well, you've had 3 World Series starts. You were in that 18-inning game. I had to remember that. You pitched the first 7 shutout. You've given up 1 run in 3 World Series games. Quite a resume.
Nasty.
Walker, congratulations to you and best of luck.